we'll go over drinks. Drinks vary based on what you want to run. For my general primary build, which I run a lot, you can kind of see which drinks are missing. Insanity Demise, this is the one I was talking about earlier. 40 magical damage on your primary attack. It's very nice. This is almost a you always want this, I would say, if you're running primary attack. Wicked Sickness, damage dealt during combo, but you do less damage outside of combo. Well, how do we mend this so it's really good? Well, you take Frenetic Eruption. Frenetic Eruption increases your chance of, or gives you a chance to trigger combo when critting, so you don't even have to kill things. This is the crit build I was talking about. It's a 5% chance, right? Which means it's a luck stat, which means the more luck you have, this chance goes up, and the more luck you have, your crit chance also goes up. Therefore, it exponentially increases, pretty much. This makes you take damage when out of combo, but you'll rarely be out of it. If you're taking Frenetic Eruption and Wicked Sickness, all you're really getting is bonus damage dealt during combo. You're permanently in combo, and then with this 40 magical damage on primary attack, you'll do tons of damage. Those are the most important drinks of the build. I should note that I got this build from Weeks, and so that's where I got it from. I'm gonna link his Excel spreadsheet for what he does on each character class for you guys in the description. The other thing is, overflowing physique is really good. You get base health, but you lose mana while moving. So I would never take this on a skill build. However, on any primary build, this is pretty good because most of them don't use skills too often, or their skill costs are low enough that you can deal with this. Sometimes this is awful to deal with though, and so I don't always take it. Weeks does, but he's much further in the game than me. I would say Crazy Eye is something you always want to take. Good chance, as I said, very important. If you're not going to take Overflowing Physique, this is a defensive drink, so you're going to want to match it with another defensive drink. So I would grab Groovy Ghost, or maybe something like, you don't want this, -5 luck. There's a resistance drink in here somewhere. This one. But skill speed is also arguably important, so you may not want to take this. I'll go over what you take on skill builds really quick, and then, or to my knowledge, what you take on skill builds, and then we'll go from there. Evil Infusion, most powerful drink for skill builds. The reason for this is it gives you 5% lifesteal and skills. Other than this drink, to my knowledge, there is no other way to get lifesteal on skills. Therefore, this is the only way to get it, and no matter what the negative is, you want this because it keeps you alive. The next thing is you take Frenetic Eruption. You'll notice it says when triggering critical hits, or when scoring critical hits, you have a chance of triggering combo, right? So therefore, crits on skills also apply, which is why I said before you take the Staff of Volatile Casting or Unstable Casting to gain crit chance, proc this drink to get combo, and you guessed it, you take Wicked Sickness as well. It's for the same reasons. Extra damage and no negatives pretty much, because you'll always be in combo. And the next two drinks may confuse you because they look like negatives but also positives, but realistically they become almost purely positives. It's not Homemade Hazard, it's Starlight Singer and Elemental Bruiser. So Starlight Singer gives you a chance to crit with skills, which is really great because you proc your combo more often. This one could be interchanged with something else because you just lower your chance of proccing combo, but if you can take it, take it. Losing mana sucks, but this is really worth it in terms of critting, therefore dealing more damage and having a more reliable combo. Elemental Bruiser, this is only positives later on. The reason why is so when I was talking about the chapel, I said you didn't want to lower your skill cost. increasing it actually is good for you, and skill damage is skill damage. That's why we'll go to the statues in a second, and we'll talk about those, and we'll wrap up the video. Let's go over other drinks really quick though, because there's other drinks that are very nice. Smelly Old Man's pretty good at the start of the game. 2 mana regen is huge. On a lot of characters that are mana hungry, this can be a great asset to you. On the Run's okay. Minus Delight is great for ore runs. Immunity Confusion, depending on how much you hate confusion, I can see you liking this. 10% damage reduction. This is another alternative to a defensive drink. Experience gain, you almost never want to take this because you can just buff up your fountain. This is similar to the Smelly Old Man. If you want to take these, you can take these. Enchanted Slammer is the first incendiary demise. If you can afford to take this, like if I got this on my ranger, I would 100% take this because I don't really use skills anyways. So this is almost all positive for no negative. Crazy Eye is incredible no matter what. This is okay. This is okay. This is okay, but no health regen kind of sucks. I haven't done this. I feel like this would be really good, but I'm not sure. This is a really good tanky drink. If you take this and this, you get a lot of resistance. This is, I don't know much about this. I never run this. I don't run this either, but critical damage yet again can be replaced by the Witch Hunter. This may be good. You may be able to take Hairy Magus with Elemental Bruiser. So instead of but this is with scoring critical hits. I'm not sure, but this would get you tons of mana. So it kind of does the opposite of Starlight Singer. We talked about this. This would be okay, but minus 20% attack speed is kind of huge. Attack speed in combo is pretty good. No mana regen though would, I mean that's the only way of getting mana other than the Mana Stone to my knowledge, and I guess the Hairy Magus. So I would almost never take this. This is a really good drink, but there's reasons not to take it. This may be good. I don't ever take that. Homemade Hazard, yet again, you can get critical damage somewhere else, so no real point. Double Thriller, argument can be made for this one, because plus 200% damage dealt during combo, but this is 75% damage dealt all the time. You just take more damage. This is pretty okay for the start of the game, but with class titles, skill power comes much easier. With statues, skill power comes much easier. I'm not sure about this one. I don't know much about this one, but if you ran this with Frenetic, you would proc combo a lot. I have never taken this one, so I don't know much about it. All pickups activate combo. This could be another way that you could run Wicked Sickness. You just have to move really fast and keep picking up stuff. Markham's Moonshine is another one of the builds that Weeks runs. I don't know if it's in the spreadsheet, but after, so 5% per item, so 2 items is 10%, so therefore 40 items is 200%. So once you have 40 items, this is just as good as Wicked Sickness, but you don't even have to be in combo. This is a slow start but powerful finish. Gain mana while moving. This, I would say you almost never take this. If you're running a skill build, you just die if you lose all your mana. If you're running a primary build, you don't care enough about mana. We talked about Incendiary Demise and how great it is. 100 attack power, same argument as the skill power. It's pretty good at the start of the game, I'm assuming, but pretty awful at the end of the game. We talked about Frenetic, we talked about Evil Infusion. Oh, the other thing to note is this gives lifesteal on skills. That also applies to items. I didn't say that earlier. which means Cape of the Flamewalker and such will increase or give you more health, or give you health as it hits things. Lifesteal is always good, but losing health while moving, an argument can be made for this one. This would be really good if you're running Ozreth. So let's go talk about statues, the final thing that we'll talk about in this video for progression after beating the game. There are tons of statues. I don't know if I have all of them here. However, I will note the really important ones. Starting off, Bulgarth is huge, especially if you're running any combo build. 100 magical damage compared to my 16 on my primary is disgusting. This is really good. Let's see what else. Kira is really good early. Faster primary attack. You can get arrows firing out that do damage. Leveling this up is pretty good, but an argument can be made for most of these. Falarath is really good. If you're running Thief, I mean, this is pretty much self-explanatory. You lower the health by 5% when evading. Judgment's 2.5%. If you have tons of evade chance, you just be proccing percent health all the time. Callus and Cedric, these are the two big ones. The important part isn't the top part on either of these, it's actually the bottom part. So Callus is the armor version and Cedric is the resistance version. What Callus does is 5% of your armor gets added to attack power. Each level though, each level of the statue does 5% more. So at Callus 20, 100% of your armor becomes attack power. So if you didn't know, when leveling up a paladin, each time you beat a new NG, you get 5 armor. When playing ranger, you get 5 attack power. Well, once you get Callus to level 20, when you level up your paladin per NG, you get 5 attack power and 5 armor, so there's no reason to level up a ranger at that point. Of course, you can always get more attack power, and no one's going to say no to that, but it does the same thing just leveling up one character, which is huge. Cedric does the same thing, except it's on Warlock. So you would level up your Warlock and get skill power and resistance. Wilmer is the reason that you want skill cost. 5% of your skill cost gets added as damage to your skills. So there are some skills in this game, such as the sorcerer's skill, that do low base damage but fire out tons of projectiles with a high cost. Well, what happens if you add 100% of the cost, which is 270, to something that does something like 16 damage? Well, the damage goes up by a very measurable percent of damage. And so this is a huge statue, and it's why you actually want skill cost on your skills, because it can increase the damage more so than skill power can. Other important statues, you've got Ozreth. The reason that this is very good, unless they've changed it, yeah, so this, if you note at the bottom, says increases damage done to frozen enemies by 5%. And then you have a 7.5% chance to freeze enemies on primary attack. Ozreth gives you a 20% chance of enemies dying, leaving a poison cloud for 4 seconds. And every level of the statue increases damage done to poison enemies by 10% rather than 5%. So this means that the level 10 of the statue, you do 100% damage extra to poison enemies, which is why Ozreth is really good. That's all I'll cover. I don't know too much about statues, so I'm not going to go too in depth. I'm sure there's more information on it. What I run on my Thief right now is Callus, Bulgarth, Kira, but of course I could change this to other stuff accordingly. One more thing I want to mention before I end the video is statue blueprints are gotten by running the Pyramids of Prophecy DLC. So that's this way. To get the stuff for blueprints, you have to run mines, but I believe you can also get it from Pyramids of Prophecy DLC. So statues you can only get in Pyramids of Prophecy. However, blueprints I believe you can get anywhere. Blueprints are also shared across all characters, and so are statues. So that's pretty much all you need to know to progress through higher NGs. The other thing I should mention, very last note, the TLDR really is town upgrades are the most important thing for progressing early on. If you're having issues with progressing, try to get as much ore as you can and upgrade your town. I would say in order of upgrade, the most important thing to get would be your skills. Blacksmith upgrades make a huge difference. Chapel makes the biggest difference, but it's also expensive, so you need to remember that. Having a four tier chapel is huge. So I would say in terms of most effect, you want skills first because there's no cost other than the cost of building it, and it has the biggest impact. Fountain 2 you should just get Fountain 2 when you can get Fountain 2. It's cheap, it's really powerful. Blacksmith, magic shop, and chapel all do a lot of stuff for you. Chapel's the most significant of the three, but also the most expensive. Ore trader is nice. If you have tons of money and you want to make an ore, make sure you upgrade this first. Once you max it out, there's a pretty good rate. The bar is as good as it's as good as, you know, you have drinks. Gambling is also very nice because gambling now can unlock blueprints and drinks and color packs and stuff for you. So if you talk to this guy, if I do 10,000, I probably won't win. But here, look, I just got a drink right now. And so you can get drinks like this, and when you get them, they're nice to have. You can get blueprints if you don't have them already. I will say you have to do at least 5,000, but I usually roll 100,000 when I'm trying to do this stuff. So yet again, it's very expensive, but when you're in NG2 and you want to roll those higher tier blueprints, this is almost the fastest way of doing it. But yeah, definitely most important thing for progression, upgrading your town and upgrading the stuff in the town. I would say Magic Anvil is next. Very important. Gives you a lot of immediate bonuses, and it gives you a lot of immediate bonuses that are really powerful throughout the entire game. And then I would say statues are last. The reason for this is they're really good, but they kind of scale with the game. So they're not going to make as much of an immediate effect on your initial gameplay other than level 1 of them. I would say level 1 of them is very worth getting, but I wouldn't worry too much about getting their levels up when you're just trying to clear NG1, 2, 3, or whatever. Lastly, there is this lady. I forgot to mention her. She lets you attune monsters. I haven't done this on this character yet, and I've been able to clear up to, I think I'm on NG, yeah, I'm a lot further in the game, so I wouldn't worry too much about this. I will say that my NG18 is not from me on Pyramids of Prophecy. That's actually from a friend helping me out. So Forsaken Tower NG14 is accurate, however NG18 is not so much. But yeah, these are really helpful, don't get me wrong, they just cost stars, and to me attuning items is more important than attuning beasts, because these only help in a specific case, whereas items help all the time. So this is important, don't get me wrong, but I would do it after everything else. So that's my guide on how to progress through everything after NG0. I hope it was helpful for you guys, and I hope that it makes your progression through Here's a Hammer Watch easier. I'm sorry I didn't do a gameplay video of it. I'm gonna leave my profile alone, so if you guys do want me to go through the game on that profile and actually beat NG 1 and 2 for you guys to see, let me know. And I'll see you guys next time. Alrighty, bye.